All right. Alec, how's it going?
It is going swimmingly, I suppose you
Pestro,
could say.
how was November for you? Good month?
Ama amazing. Best month of my life, I think. Yeah.
Great.
Wow. Okay. All right. You got a lot to live up to here, I
Awesome.
guess.
Yeah, no, it's all right.
Well, I'm sure we've all indulged in so much great film, television, and gaming products that we'd love to discuss today and we'll highlight on this evening. What would we like to start with? Someone pick one of the three: film, TV, gaming. Go.
Well, we're just doing it in that order, I guess. I
Film.
can't think of it. Film. We'll start
All
with
right.
film.
I have seen zero films outside of the Tarqaron films.
Awesome.
So
Fantastic.
that's all I have to contribute. We've been watching a bunch of Star Wars for Tarqaron. Watched Frozen 2, also on Tarqaron,
Yep.
among other things, but nothing unique to talk about outside of that. How about you, Alec?
Me. Okay,
Yeah.
so if you've been paying attention to these videos, I've been making me and my family are making our way through the James Bond films I guess in preparation sort of for the new one, No Time to Die, which as the time of the recording, tomorrow, the new trailer or the first trailer is going up for that movie. And that's coming out in like just beginning of next year. So pretty stoked for that. So we're deep in Roger Moore territory. I don't remember. I'm bad. I'm not like Zach. I don't keep a log. I should probably start doing that. So I don't remember which films exactly I watched in November. I do know that I watched that we saw one of my favorite Roger Moore films, For Your Eyes Only. I really like that movie a lot. I think it's just a solid movie. It kind of harkens back to older James Bond. It's pretty simple. It's not too goofy because Roger Moore can get really goofy. And speaking of which, we also saw Octopussy, which
Octopussy.
first of all,
Yes.
first of all, that's the title that kind of makes you giggle just by saying it.
I have a funny story about that movie actually, but
Okay.
sorry. Also afterwards. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Okay, but that movie is, as my brother refers to Roger Moore just in general as Clown Bond, because the big climactic thing. I mean, it's not really that much of a spoiler, but the big climactic thing that happens in the movie has our hero James Bond in clown getup for the big thing at the end of the movie. That movie is just awful. It's just terrible. The plot is like borderline incomprehensible. Like character motivations make literally no sense. I have no idea. You've no idea like what the villain's motivation is. Who's in charge of who? Like why is it's a giant mess. And that is the last one we've seen so far. We still have one Roger Moore film, and then it's on to Timothy Dalton, whose films I have not seen any of so far. So, I saw The Princess Bride again for probably like the 15th time or whatever. Just watched that.
Yes, which I haven't seen.
Why are we still friends? How are we doing this How are we doing this? Though?
That's why we're doing this. See,
apparently
that's
it
something
is. Yeah,
that's something I can watch.
it is. It's going to be something. So we can talk about it. Because I'll watch it again. It's a great, solid. It's one of my favorite movies. So other than that, there's nothing really springing to mind other than obviously the stuff we watched for Tarqaron, watching a lot of Star Wars and such. So how about you, Pestro? What films have you seen?
I have.
Oh yeah, they are Octopussy story also.
Oh yeah. Well, I guess it wasn't that exciting, but so the Bond girl in that movie, Maud Adams, I think her name was, if I remember
It's
correctly.
your mom.
Almost. No, I'm joking. No, she was. So I grew up like in a very small town in northern Sweden, and I moved out to Stockholm. But she was from that town, I believe, or she just lived there for some reason. But I remember when I was a kid, I would see her at the pizzeria sometimes with like.
Oh.
So it's like a small town, and I see like Maud Adams with like bodyguards with like their headsets, and you're a kid, you're like, one day I'm gonna go up and ask for an autograph, and I was always too scared, like you see the bouncer looking like you're gonna kill someone. Yeah, that's it.
Nice.
That's great.
So, it wasn't like a super fun story, but yeah, it's just it's pretty funny though. taking back. So the movies I watched, I guess I've seen 3 movies. Well, primarily, I guess 3 movies that stuck out to me this month. So yeah, for the longest time I didn't really watch a whole lot of movies, but I started watching movies again recently, and now it's been like I really enjoyed this actually. So 3 movies this month that stuck out to me. The first one was so I don't know if you guys are familiar with Sergio Leone, spaghetti western.
Yeah. Great filmmaker.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm a huge fan. So I never saw. Actually, no, I did watch this movie before, but in 2012, I believe. So this is the final movie he made. It's called Once Upon a Time in America, and the movie is actually a gangster movie. And he always wanted to make a gangster movie his whole life, apparently. But they were like, "No, you're making westerns because this is making money, right?" But this was the last film he did before he died, and he died before the movie was completed, actually. So it was in post-production phase, I guess, when he died. So the movie that came out in the theaters and that was shown on TV, etc., it flopped because the story was nowhere near finished. Like they just pieced together the pieces that they have, and they kind of just create a movie off of it. So first of all, the film that was shown in the theaters had a linear storyline, but it was supposed to have like a non-linear storyline and multiple storylines taking place at the same time. And in 2012, I think it was Martin Scorsese. I think he
I think
took on a
that
huge.
sounds right to me. Yeah.
He took on a huge undertaking to kind of re-edit the movie according to Sergio Leone's vision, based on close people that he knew. So he basically reassembled the movie. He also took shots that weren't fully processed, I guess, or unfinished shots. So in the middle of the movie, you'll see something that looks really grainy, and it's because it wasn't like a fully finished piece of the movie, but just to kind of piece together the storyline, I guess. But this movie blew me away. Like I was like, because I watched it, the original version, a long time ago, and it didn't really stick with me. I was like, it's all right, it's not too bad. But now that I watched the way it was intended to be made, it's actually my favorite Sergio Leone movie. I have to say,
wow.
It's ridiculous how good it was. Like it was so well thought out, and the details and all the shots, and it was I was really surprised actually. It's a really long movie though. It's like 3 hours plus, I think. Really recommend it, I would say.
Yeah, I'll have to give that a watch. I like a lot of his. I like the spaghetti westerns are really great. So
nice. Same. I'm a huge fan. So yeah, the guy did the music for a lot of. Still made the music for this. I forget his name now. Name escapes me.
Ennio Morricone.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah, he's amazing.
Yeah. No, definitely. No, it was the acting too in this movie was outstanding. It was incredible. So the second movie I watched that really stuck out to me was The Man Who Wasn't There, which is a Coen Brothers movie. Another movie that I never even heard of actually. Then a coworker brought it up and said, "Oh no, you have to watch this movie. It's great." One of the most brilliant. Have you guys heard of the movie actually?
No.
I want to say I've heard of it in passing, but I know pretty much nothing about it.
Coen Brothers are great. I've never heard of this one.
Yeah, so I really like this movie. It was extremely clever and well executed, and the storyline was just like, yeah, it was really, really good. I don't want to say anything about the movie because I don't want to spoil anything for anyone who hasn't watched it, but it has the film noir kind of style to it, and it has like a sort of there's a narrative on the movie that's going on, like over on top of the movie, I should say, and it was really clever. The movie was really, really well crafted, I would say. I was really surprised. So I really enjoyed it. I would really recommend checking it out, actually. And next, the third movie that I watched was one of the. Well, I was debating on if I should even mention this movie because it was so fucked up, but I feel like I should because it was a movie that I'm never gonna forget because it was so messed up. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with Jodorowsky, or he made Hilltop. He was
Jodorowsky, yeah.
Yeah, so I watched his movie called Holy Mountain. So I've seen El Topo before, and when I watched the movie, I was just like, what am I even watching? Like, what is this? So basically, it feels like he just took all the shock effects you can possibly think of, and all the taboos that you can think of, and just like, let's create a movie that's gonna shock people, and but the thing is though, the way he executed El Topo at least, like it was very artsy, and like it wasn't just that he took shock values for the sake of shock value. He did actually have a cohesive story to tell, and there's a lot of symbolism and stuff. It wasn't just like, I think you can still get something out of it. But this movie was just more of everything. I think like more, but the storyline was more focused, I should say. But it still had like insane symbolism and everything. So. Yeah, I mean, I can explain, I guess, the movie what it's about in a short sentence, but it's so strange, the storyline, that it's hard to kind of it's gonna sound like it doesn't make any sense, but it doesn't. So it's about a man who's supposed to be like a Jesus, I guess, and he
Yes.
falls and he finds someone that is supposed to symbolize the devil, I guess, and he says, "Do you want gold?" And human greed always kicks in, and then eventually. The movie is about trying to find immortality. So he assembles.
What? I'm lost.
It's really weird. So apparently there's like on each planet in the solar system there's a population, I guess, and there's a spacecraft where the best of each planet has been assembled, and they're gonna find a mountain where immortality exists.
Yeah.
And it doesn't make any sense. Like it's just so weird, and it's really strange. So. I can't really recommend it, but it was very impactful. And it has like every single shock value you can imagine, every single taboo you can imagine, and it's really strange. All of his movies are really messed up, but this one is probably the most. Oh, the funny thing, the one scene in the movie has like a lot of nudity and it looks really bad. And then when we were watching the movie at a friend's place, someone knocked on his door, and he just opened the door, didn't think what was displaying. Like his neighbor walked in, like, what the fuck's going on? It's pretty funny, actually. Yeah. Anyway, I guess that's it for.
Okay, so television. Who wants to start? Someone raise their hand.
I will begin.
Okay.
So we haven't really talked about it at all. I don't think we may have mentioned it in one of our Star Wars videos, but I've been watching The Mandalorian. I'm actually not all the way caught up on it yet.
Don't spoil it for me.
I'm not going to.
Stop spoiling it so much.
This is no spoilers. I haven't watched episode 4 yet, which is the most recent one that's out.
A New Hope, yes.
Yeah, sure. And it's great. I would even go so far as to say this is probably the best Star Wars has been since the original trilogy.
Shoot.
I don't know if it's going to stay. I don't know if it's going to stay that consistent. But I just hope Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau stay in charge of Star Wars live action stuff from now on, because it's just really, really good.
Do we know how long it's gonna be? This first.
I think they said they're. Don't quote me on this. I feel like they're gonna release episodes every Friday up until the Rise of Skywalker comes out. I think the last episode comes out the day that comes out, I want to say. So
I thought I heard they were like taking a break during that time.
Oh, well, maybe. I don't know.
And then it was like coming back after.
I'm not that up.
Yeah.
Well, maybe. I'm not super up to date on it, so I don't know. But yeah, it's really good. Very, very much enjoyed that show. Give it a watch if you're a Star Wars fan. I'd say use your. Maybe if you're not like super on board Disney Plus, wait for the whole show to be out, then use your free week to just binge it.
Yeah.
Because it's great.
The midichlorian on Netflix.
The midichlorian
on Netflix now.
It's a singular midichlorian. It's about the life cycle of a single midichlorian.
Okay.
He's controlling the wills of the Force.
Behind the science of Star Wars, yes.
Yeah, so other than that, I've been using Disney Plus to watch a whole lot of Boy Meets World.
Mm-hmm.
Like almost nothing but Boy Meets World. I've made it through through. I started getting to season 3 earlier this month, so I won't talk too much about it. But I went basically through the first 2 seasons in the month of November, and it's really good. I think some parts of the show its age. But I think overall the messages are relatively timeless, and it's just a really good coming of age. Other than some of the wacky hijink scenarios that that are always going to plague every sitcom. There's some like really good storylines in there that are still like really emotional and really still pack a punch. So It's one of my favorite shows, so it's been really good getting to watch the whole thing sort of progress. I was watching a show with my parents called Poldark. It's a PBS show. The final season aired, and I've watched almost none of it, and I watched like the last episode, and I thought it was really good. So if you like soap opera PBS shows, in the vein of like Downton Abbey, except that this isn't Downton Abbey. It's more of older. It's of an earlier time period than that. It's 18th century. It's really good, and I really liked it. And for the last episode that I watched,
Yes.
I'd seen like a handful of other episodes too. It's a very well produced, well shot show. Aidan Turner, who played Feely in the Hobbit movies, plays the main character in it, and I just think he's a great actor. So yeah, that's it. I think for me.
Okay.
So Zach,
All
I'll
right.
go to you. Go to you now.
Okay, television. I will say I'm not gonna like go in depth on anything I've already talked about in the past. I've still been watching The Walking Dead. I'm always watching Survivor, but I obviously can't talk about anything Survivor.
Good.
Yeah.
No spoilers.
Yeah, I can't spoil anything. Also, I started finally watching My Hero Academia Season 4, which I will definitely go in depth on.
Please don't.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was actually one thing I forgot to mention. I finished season 2 of that. I haven't really gone back, and I haven't because I did that in November. I haven't watched any more of it past that though.
Okay.
So, and really good, really great show. Still a big fan.
Yeah, I've only watched like the first 2 episodes. I think they're 6 or 7 into season 4. But I mean, it's good. It's good. It's always good. Rick and Morty is back. I've been watching Rick and Morty though, which is also in season 4, and that's been really good. Like 3 episodes I think so far, and they've all been really solid. I'm just continually impressed by Rick and Morty continuing to like be a strong show every episode. There's not really like a major flop. So I'm like, how long can they keep this up? Because as far as I know, the writers don't plan on stopping anytime soon. You know, as long as they can go. I know they have a lot of material planned and whatnot. But
I heard season 3 wasn't as well received by the fan base as some of the previous seasons, but that's just what I've heard.
Good sir.
I know literally nothing about it, so
Yeah.
other than the fact that I watched one episode of it, recommended it to like everybody I knew, and then that had been the only episode I saw, and then everyone else I knew was like completely caught up. I'm like, oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I know about Rick and Morty. I like it. I think it's funny.
Season 3, I mean, had a couple that weren't as good, but I mean, they're still great for what they are. And I think they're some of the best episodes of Rick and Morty are season 3 also, so it's got a balance of all. But I haven't really watched anything outside of that. I mean, I'm still watching the Office and stuff like that with my family, because you know I watched through the entire series for the first time this year, and then I had to go back through again to watch it with my brother now. So, but it's always fun to watch. But that's it for me. Pestro, any TV?
Well, I think last time I was on, I mentioned I was watching Maniac. So I finished Maniac actually, and that's pretty much it. I really enjoyed it though. I thought it was brilliant. Yeah, it was really good show. But
that was the Jonah Hill show, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jonah Hill and Emma Stone.
And Emma Stone, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
Of
really recommend it, actually.
Zombieland fame. Yes, Emma Stone. Of the Amazing Spider-Man and the Amazing Spider-Man 2 fame, Emma Stone.
Of Easy A fame, of The Help fame.
Yes.
Let's just name every movie Emma Stone's been in.
Yeah.
What else?
Wasn't she in Wolf of Wall Street? No. I forget.
Sure, of Leonardo DiCaprio.
Sure, we'll say she was. Just
I could be wrong.
if we're wrong.
Of course.
If we're wrong, tell us
She
in the
was also
comments.
that girl in Titanic too, I think. Yeah.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Video games. Anyone here play video games? Raise your hand if you've played a video game before. right here. Yeah. Don't be shy. You're with like-minded people here. All right. So I'll just say mine real quick.
I heard video games ruin lives, though.
I'm going to talk about every video game I played ever. So, real quick. Pokemon Sword, I've been playing more of that, but, I mean, that's talked about on the channel, so I'm not allowed to talk about it anymore. No. I mean, I'm very close to the end now. I've gotten all of the badges. Just have the final little stretch we've got going on here. But, haven't played it in a while. Been busy with a lot of stuff. But, that's still a good game. Now, in retrospect, I'm like, I definitely should not have gone into max raid battles before I finished the game, because it's just a stroll for me now. I destroy every gym battle with ease with one Pokemon because I'm so overpowered. Because I played with like my high level friend and brother doing max raid battles for hours, and then I just leveled them up like 30 levels higher than they should be. So in retrospect, if they do that again, I really want to leave that to an end game thing, because it kind of sours the main story if there's like no challenge posed to you whatsoever. But there's that. Always playing Smash Bros. Say that every time. Still trying to get better. And
always be smashing.
Always smashing. Lastly, the only other one really worth mentioning is Borderlands 2, which my brother and I got back to because we played Borderlands years ago and intended to go through all of them. And now the Borderlands 3 is out. It was like we wanted to play that, but we want to still go through Borderlands 2 and the pre-sequel first. And that's a lot of fun, because usually I would have to drive over like 40 minutes to his house to play games and stuff. Like we were playing the Lego games, but for this one I can just play it online and it works perfectly. That's like the best.
Yeah.
Borderlands is like one of the best functionalities of a co-op game online. I feel like it works so well. But that's it for me. How about you, Pestro?
So for me, just 3D Space Cadet, Candy Crush. Those are my main games. So. Nah, I'm joking.
Sounds like my dad. My dad plays like Candy Crush. He plays the Dr. Mario game. They play some weird game too on their iPad. But my dad also plays Red Dead Redemption 2. So.
Oh.
Get you a man who can do both.
No, what have I been playing? Well, other than the obvious Gents game, which we talked about before, so I'm not gonna.
Cannot talk about it in this video. We'll never be able to talk about it again.
The game that should not be named, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, so I did play Horizon 64. Other than that, sorry.
That's a fee.
Breaking it.
And then I did play Death Stranding a little bit, but I haven't played it. I haven't gotten that far. So we've just been playing with some friends. And
Norman Reedus of The Walking Dead fame. Yes.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's a pretty good hiking sim, I have to say. As everyone else does too. So I heard it really opens up though later on in the game. But so far it's kind of you can feel the agony of the player, for good and bad, I guess. You can really relate to his horrible experience walking and carrying all this stuff and stumbling, falling.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah. But I always wondered, was that like an intentional pun, the Reedus fetus thing?
The Reedus fetus?
Yeah.
Of course, that's why they cast him.
The amazing fetus.
But everyone's saying Kojima did it again. I haven't, gotten that far, so I can say. But so far, yeah, it's cool. It's definitely different. It's cool that he has the like system in the game. So apparently, he wanted to reward a more, instead of online communities having like sort of like a toxic stigma. Kojima said, not my words. But he said that he felt that way, and he wanted to create a system where you can just share likes and create a more positive online experience for people. So it's kind of interesting. I don't know if you know about it, but in the game you can build things, and whatever you build is public online, so you can go there and like someone's build. So yeah,
I had no idea.
That's pretty much it. That was kind of cool, I have to say. It was definitely unique. But other than that, so yeah, I haven't played the game as much that I should have, so I don't feel like I shouldn't speak on it more than what I've done so far. But so far, I feel like, yeah, it's cool. But I want to see more of it in order to really form an opinion, I feel. And yeah, just the usual Mushimi-sama Futari God mode. There was a score competition in Japan this month actually, so competed in that. Actually won. Yay!
Yeah, congratulations for that. That's
thank
awesome.
you.
Those games
Thank
are
you.
hard.
Yeah, no, I haven't played the game in a while actually, but like I feel like a year almost. I just haven't been around to. Been busy with Street Fighter, I guess. But there was this Scorpion competition. I was like, yeah, why not? Start playing again, and the addiction is back now. Now I can't stop. So I played that, and then Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, I should say, for anyone who doesn't know. But yeah, there was a tournament I was in 2 weeks ago, I think, and there's another one coming up next week in Columbus, Ohio, that I'm going to. So yeah, I've just been grinding for that pretty much, just trying to get better. It's like Horace Moon. It's a constant grind.
Constant
you never know
grind.
the right direction.
Yeah.
Hopefully towards the light. Yeah, that's pretty much it for me, I guess. So I guess Alec is the last man standing here.
Yep. So I've been playing stuff on both your guys' lists. So been playing Death Stranding. Well, I was playing Luigi's Mansion because we were still playing that from October into November.
Left it behind.
You left. So I'll get to that in a second. So I was playing that. Then Death Stranding came out. So obviously I started putting time to that. Have to play that game. I got the collector's edition.
The huge
with
one?
With the BB.
The BB boy.
And my parents were like both intrigued and also like that's weird, but they seemed to really like it. They liked watching me play it. Fascinating to me because it's the game is parts of it. I feel like might not necessarily make the most interesting watch, but I feel like everything in that game is very intentional and it's very artsy, and I think that's going to immediately turn people off, and that's fine. You don't have to like that. I'm only in chapter 3 because I then put it down for another game that came out, a Pokemon Sword and Shield, specifically Sword. But and I think I'm at the point now where it's going to start opening up a lot more. I think chapter 3 is the moment when that's supposed to happen, I guess. I really like. It's insanity. It's such a crazy story, but it's fascinating. There's so much interesting like lore and history that's happened in this world. The way that the United States is now, in the world of Death Stranding, and the music is just like so fascinating. It's like he listened to some indie bands and then just contacted them and asked them to have some of them I think wrote music for the game, and then he also featured songs he heard. Just be like, can you have your album in the game? And they're like, yeah, sure.
I feel like the way he timed the music when you were walking and when you like, it was like the perfect moment. You just felt like you're just at the peak of, I just want to get there, and then suddenly a song kicks in. It always timed everything so elegantly, I have to say. That was really nice.
The mood is just, he hits it so well, and it takes a real craftsman to make something like that work the way it does. So he definitely has a very he has certainly a film sense too. The way he directed, and I'm sure other people were like that. The way he had other people that were working for him, because it wasn't all just him. I mean, you see his name a lot in the opening credits, but you see other people's name as well, and of course it's not just his. And a lot of very talented people worked on this, but he does have very much the sensibility of a filmmaker in the way cutscenes are done. This is just he understands cinematic language very well, and it's a game that I'm definitely going to come back to. I'm very interested in seeing it go further, and I really kind of want to hope I get a lot further before the Game Awards happen, because it got nominated for tons of those. I'll have to see what the result of that is.
Now, would you recommend this game to me? I'll give you examples of games that I enjoy: Animal Crossing, Paper Mario, Call of Duty.
I don't know. I don't know if I would recommend it to you. That's the thing, is that it's a game I love, but this game is absolutely not for everybody.
I think
So
let me ask you this, Zach. Do you press a lot of likes on Facebook? Because you may like it in that case.
Really?
yes, it's true. Yeah, well, that's actually one thing I really like about the game a lot is that the social aspect of it, like you were mentioning, how you build stuff, and it really helps out like other people in the game. Like you feel like I'm gonna put this bridge down, and I'm really gonna help somebody, and the game notifies you when somebody likes your stuff too, which is great. It's a really cool. I think I liked how he was thinking that of making it a sort of a positive experience in terms of the online segment of it. So
yeah, it kind of adds like a greater reward to the stuff you would normally do in a game, and you wouldn't think too much of it.
Yeah, for sure.
Like it feels like there's actually meaning to everything you do in the game, kind of.
Yeah,
it's pretty interesting.
It's literally taking the metaphor of building a bridge and taking that in every possible way you can construe that idea into gameplay, into story, into everything, and it does it. It's so weird and wonderful, and I love it.
So you think there's enough substance to the game too, where it's like worth playing, not as just like a novelty of like this is the next weird trending thing, so you have to check it out and to be with the new wave right now. There's enough substance there that like a few years from now it'll still be looked back on positively.
I think so. I mean, I think this game in particular is always going to be pretty divisive. I would say more so than a lot of his other work, just because of how kind of strange it is, and it's almost, you may even say it's too simple, because like people have joked a UPS hiking simulator, basically. You're just doing deliveries. That's what you're doing a lot of the time. So
that sounds like a fun time to me, actually.
Like really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I like
delivering. The game, the gameplay. I know there's some people arguing that there isn't a gameplay, but there is. It's just if you don't like the gameplay loop, then the game's not really for you. The gameplay loop is you managing the weight distribution of all the stuff that you're carrying, and interacting with the world. So making sure that you're crossing rivers, climbing. As you progress further in the game, you get the ability to have like bikes and stuff like that, where you can carry stuff like that. But then obviously you can't. You have to make sure that you take that stuff with you so that you complete deliveries, making sure the integrity of all the stuff that you're carrying, the boxes don't all and then complicating things are BTs, which I still don't really remember what that's supposed to stand for.
Yeah, I don't remember either.
Sorry, my cat is playing with a mousetrap because he's an idiot. And then if you get caught by that stuff, really really horrible things can happen, and it's actually kind of terrifying. The horror and suspense parts of that game are done like so well. It's like it's horrifying when you get caught by the invisible monsters. Basically, it's because all hell breaks loose, and it's just you're just like, please, I need to pick up the stuff and get out of here now. And it's just like basically going to full panic mode to try to get everything back. It's great. I
thought it was really clever how we have the detection device on your back. That was really nice, because it seems as soon as it starts, like you're seeing that something is nearby, you get like yeah. It has the suspense is really good, the way he executed it.
Okay.
So and the story's just going all kinds of strange places. So really enjoying my time with that. But then Pokemon Sword came out, so I threw a lot of basically all my extra time went into that instead. Pretty much, there's another game I'm going to mention at the end, but I actually beat the story of Pokemon Sword. So I'm ahead of Zach because I didn't do a lot of max raid battles. I was pretty much, by the end of the game, all the gym battles and everything all basically caught up to my level, because I felt like I was over leveled through a lot of the game. But eventually got to a point where the last few battles were definitely testing my team, because I found I don't have an answer to everything. like I always do, because I was also doing slightly different things with my Pokemon team that I don't normally do. So, trying out some new types and new Pokemon and everything. So, but yeah, I adored this game. I thought it was great, and I loved it. Solid ending. There's actually two the ends after the first one. You can leave. You can open the door. You're not helpless. After the end, there's actually more game after that. So I went and did everything after that. I got the end again. Now I'm just gonna be going around doing max raid battles, catching Pokemon, and I'm probably gonna ease off in the game a little bit and probably just play it here and there in between stuff. But I think I'm gonna head back to Death Stranding or Luigi's Mansion or something. Man, there's too many games, man. Too many games.
Yeah.
So and then the only other thing I want to mention is Resident Evil 5. I've been playing that with my friend Dubs. We actually went through the whole game, and we beat it. And I'd played it before by myself. I'd never done co-op before, so it was a lot of fun. Had a great time with him. We were planning on playing through it again. We played through it on like the normal difficulty, and we're going to play through it again on the harder difficulty. So yeah, it was good. I love Resident Evil. So, and I like that game a lot. I know that game gets a lot of flack. I know 6 gets a lot of flack too. But I haven't played one that I haven't liked so far. So
That's it then.
that's it.
Thank you, Pestro, for joining us for another video.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Of course, thank you.
And
Yeah,
if
thanks for having me on.
you ever want to come back any week, you can just hop in the call. Every week, you can hop in. Just force your way
Sure.
into any video, even if you don't know what we're talking about.
Just like my cat is forcing his way into this video now too.
But
Sure.
thank
you.
You can come back next
So
month.
you want to be a famous YouTube star, cat?
Exactly, and we'll talk about December, and yes, thank you.
Sure. I'll hop in and show some ads so I get some revenue. And then, yeah.
Oh, I don't know. It's not COPPA compliant anymore though.
All right. Thanks, guys. Later.